Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 967. Please turn to it, page 967, and today is our lesson number 142. On page 967 you will find 4 problems, 7, 8, 9 and 10. They are all medium problems. We will begin with question number 10. This question number 10 is a tricky one. It's a tricky one because you have to understand it properly. Here's what it says. It says if k is a positive integer, if k happens to be a positive integer, then we're going to define anything that appears in this box, any positive integer that appears in the box, we're going to define it as a set of all multiples of k. For example, a 2 in a box represents multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 3 in the box represents all the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. 5 in the box represents all multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, so on and so forth. The question here is, here's the punchline. I'm going to first read the questions the way they gave it to us, and then I'm going to paraphrase it. We're going to paraphrase it as you see in the blackboard, and we're going to present it in a way that is a little bit easier to understand, because they write it in a very awkward way. This is what they say: all of the numbers in which of the following sets, there are five sets that they give us. Which of the following 5 sets would have been easier to understand? There are 5 sets here because there are 5 answer choices. All of the numbers in which of the following 5 sets are also present in all 3 of the sets that you see here. In other words, what they're asking here is which one is not 2, which one are 2 words here, which one is not 1 word, which one of the 5. There are 5 answer choices, and the question is which one of the following 5 sets, A, B, C, D, E, are also in all 3 of the above sets. So let's begin then. The above sets that you see there, it's a set of multiples of 2, a set of multiples of 3, and a set of multiples of 5. I've given them name. Instead of calling them this set and that set, let's give them name. Let's call them set P, set Q, and set R. So now the question is set A in P? Is set A in set P? Let's find out, shall we? Let's find out very quickly. Set A consists of multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and so forth. Well, since this consists of multiples of 5, we'll see 10, we'll see 20, which is 5, 10, 20. This is this guy in set A. This is set A here. Is this in set P? The answer is no, because set A consists of 5 and 15 and 25. Those are odd numbers. Odd numbers do not appear in set P. So the answer is not A. Let's move on to B. Let's move on to answer question number B. Is set B in set P? We're going to do them one by one, P, Q, and R. We're going to do them separately. Is set B in set P? Set B is multiples of 6, which are 6, 12, 18, 24, and so forth. The question is, are these numbers present in set P? The answer is yes, because 6, 12, 18, 24, all multiples of 6 are all even numbers. And since set P is a set of even numbers, the answer is yes. Is set B in set P? The answer is yes. Let's move on to the next question. Is set B in, it should say in set, is set B in set Q? Well, set Q is multiples of 3. Since set B is 6, 12, 18, 24 and so forth, and since set Q are all multiples of 3, anything that's a multiple of 6 is also a multiple of 3. And therefore, set B is in set Q. The answer is yes. So it has passed the 2 rounds. Let's go to the 3rd round, round 3. is set B in set R. Again, remember, set B consists of these numbers, 6, 12, 18, and 24, whereas set R consists of 5, 10, 15, and 20. I do not see these numbers in this set. These numbers will never appear in this set because set R are multiples of 5, these are multiples of 6. We will never see a 6 in here, we'll never see a 12 in there, so on and so forth. The answer is no. And since set B is not in all, it is in 2, set B is in set P and in set Q, but it is not in all 3 because set B is not in set R. Since it is not in all 3 of the above set, B is not the right answer. Let's move on to answer choice C. Same question, answer choice C is set C in set P. Well, let's see what set C represents first of all. Set C represents multiples of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40 and so forth. Well, 10, 20, 30, 40, they are all even numbers. So the answer is yes. Is set C in set P? The answer is yes, because set P is a set of even numbers, and therefore a set of even number will consist 10, 20, 30, 40 and so forth. Let's go to the next question. Is set C in set Q? Set Q's are multiples of 3. Multiples of 3 would be 3, 6, 9, 12. Well, right there we can stop. Right there we can stop because the very first guy in set C is 10. Set C consists of 10, 20, 30 and 40. I don't see any 10 in here. The answer is no. So the answer cannot be C. Let's move on to D. Is set D in set P? Well, that's an easy one to start because set D is the multiples of 20, 21, 42, and 21 times 3, whatever the hell that is, and so forth. Well, 21 is an odd number. An odd number will never appear in a set of even numbers. So, is set D in set P? The answer is no. We don't have to worry about set Q and set R as long as it's not in one of those 3 sets, because it has to be in all of the 3 sets. A given set D has to be in all of the 3 sets. It has to be in set P, set Q and set R. As long as it's not in one of those 3 sets, we don't have to do the rest of the work. The answer is no. The answer is not D. The correct answer, of course, is E because it's the only one left. Let's look at E. Is set E in set P? Well, set E consists of 60, 120, 180, 240 and so forth. Because of the fact that 60, 120, 180, 240, they are all even numbers, the answer is yes. Is set E in set P? In other words, are all of these numbers even number? The answer is yes. Because that's what set P is. Set P is a set of even numbers. Next question. Is set E in set Q? Well, let's find out. Set Q are multiples of 3. Since anything that is a multiple of 60, by definition, will also be a multiple of 3 because 60 is divisible by 3. 120 is a multiple of 3, 180 is a multiple of 3. So any number that appears in a multiple of 6, any number that is a multiple of 60 is also a multiple of 3. The answer is yes, it is. Let's move on to the next question. Is set E in set R? The answer again is yes, because set R is a multiple of 5. And 60 is a multiple of 5, so is 120, so is 180, so is 240. For the same logic, any number that is a multiple of 60 would also have to be a multiple of 5. So yes, it is. And since it's present in all of these above sets, the answer is E. The answer is E. Let's move on then. Let's go to number 9. Enough of this thing. Number 9. The reason I took so much time on this question is because many a times I have found students who pick the right answer in this question but purely for the wrong reason. They do not understand the question. They misunderstand the question and they pick the right answer but purely for the wrong reason. I wanted to make sure that you understand what is being asked here. Let's do the next one. Number 9. Number 9 is a very straightforward, it's a breeze compared to this one. Number 9, they said 3x plus n equals x plus 1, and the question simply is, what is n? In other words, they want us to solve this equation for n. So let's do it. This is 3x, so let's subtract 3x from both sides. This is a positive x. Positive 3x and negative 3x will cancel out, and n equals x minus 3x plus 1, which is same as x minus 2, which is same as negative 2x plus 1, which of course can be written as 1 minus 2x, and that's our answer choice D. Let's go to the next one then. Question number 8 is also a tricky question. I'm going to save it until the end. Let's go to number 7 first. Let's take care of number 7. Let's do number 7 right here. In number 7 they tell us, well, in number 7 they tell us that we have two numbers, x and 3x. X and 3x, and we are told that their average is 12. Well, how do we find the average of two numbers? Well, we add them up and divide by 2 because there are two of them. So let's do that. X plus 3x divide by 2, and that has to equal 12 because that's what we are told their average is. Multiply both sides by 2 and we get rid of this 2 and we find that 4x equals 24. In other words, the sum of these two numbers has to be 24, which makes sense because 24 is the only number which, when divided by 2, will yield 12 because the average has to be 12. That's it. Divide both sides by 4 and we get our x equals to 6. Now we'll do question number 8, which is a tricky one. At Maple Creek High School, some members of the chess clubs are in swim team. Some members of the chess clubs are in swim team. In a question like this, it's always a good idea to use the tool what is known as a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram would come in quite handy. And it says, some members of the chess clubs are on the swim team. So here's our chess club, here's our swim team, here's our chess, here's our swim. And as you can see, some members belong to both clubs. They go on to say that no members, listen very carefully, no members of the swim teams are 10th grader. In other words, on the swim team they have no 10th grader. But they make no mention of the fact if that is also true about the chess club. We have no way of knowing if some 10th grader are in chess club or no 10th grader are in chess club. We have no way of knowing. Therefore, we have to contemplate two scenarios. There are two possible scenarios here. Two possible scenarios. One is this one right here. Our chess club, our swim club, our chess club, our swim club, and then here's the scenario. Here is the 10th grader. In this scenario, on the left hand side, we are showing a situation where no 10th grader belongs to a chess club or a swim team. Here's the other scenario. Here's a scenario where it is true that no 10th grader belongs to swim club, as we are told. The problem tells us that if you're in 10th grade, you're not in a swim team. But there are some 10th grader who belong to chess club. That is another possibility. We have no way of knowing whether it is this or that. We have no way of knowing that. Now let's see what they're asking. There is no way for us to tell which one is true. This may be true. If left hand scenario is true, then the right hand has to be wrong. And if the right hand scenario is true, then the left hand has to be wrong. They cannot both be true at the same time. The question is, which of the following must be true? Which of the following must be true? The most important word here is must. We're looking for something that has to be true all the time. Let's look at the answer choices. Answer choice A says no member of the chess club are 10th grader. no member of the chess club are 10th grader, which is what we're showing here. This is answer choice A. But this is something that may be true, but if it turns out that this is a reality, then this may not be true. Answer choice A is something that may or may not be true. We're looking for something that has to be true all the time. This is not something we can say for sure. It may be true. Answer choice B says some member of the chess clubs are 10th grader, which is what we're showing here. Some member of the chess clubs are 10th grader. This is answer choice B. Again, answer choice B is something that may be true, but it is not something that has to be true all the time. It is not something that has to be necessarily true. It may be true. We're looking for something that must be true. Answer is not B. Let's look at answer choice D. Answer choice D says, let's skip C for a second. Answer choice D says more 10th grader are, and you can stop right there. Don't waste your time. Don't even spend a split second. Don't even spend another split second reading the rest of it, because it's nonsensical. There are no numbers involved in this problem at all. They do not give us any numbers at all as to how many people are in a chess club, how many people are in the swim team, how many students there are in 10th grade. And since there is an absence of numbers, how the hell am I supposed to say more or less? You cannot go around talking about more people or fewer people in this one or that one, because there are no numbers involved. We cannot make those kind of judgments without the numbers. D is nonsense. And so is E. E is nonsensical. It's pure nonsense. Because E says the same thing. It starts out by saying more 10th grader, and I didn't read it. I really didn't read the rest of it, because it doesn't matter what it says. It cannot be true. The answer is C. The answer is C. Why is answer C? Let's take a look at it. Okay, listen carefully. There is a logic behind it. You understand the logic? You have to understand the rationale behind it. C says some member of the chess clubs are not 10th grader. In other words, what they're saying is that chess club is not made entirely of 10th grader. That's what they're saying. C says, let's put it here. C says chess club is not made entirely of 10th graders. Now, do you know why that has to be necessarily true? Do you know why that must be true? Here's the reason. That has to be true. In other words, the chess club couldn't possibly, listen very carefully, chess club could not possibly be made up of nothing but 10th grader, because if that were true, one is speaking hypothetically, that's why were. If that were true, if chess club were made entirely of 10th grader and nobody else, then we are told that some chess club, some people who play chess club, some people who play chess are also in swim team. But in the beginning in the question, they told us that no 10th grader belongs to swimming team. If no 10th grader belongs to the swimming team, then at the very least, those people who do belong to swim team and chess club, at the very least, if nothing else, at the very least, these people that we see here, people who play both chess and swim, at least those people are not in 10th grade. Because they couldn't possibly be in 10th grade, because we are told no 10th grader in the swim team. Therefore, chess club is not made entirely of 10th grader. The answer is C. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.